Welcome to the My Creative Days podcast, where we will talk about all things DIY, home decor, decorating tips, and creating a beautiful home on a budget. I am hoping our time together will spark a creative idea, help you plan your next DIY, or inspire you to finally tackle that project you keep putting off. Grab your favorite cup of motivation and let's chat. Hello and welcome back to the podcast. Today I thought I would do a 1 month update into the flip house. Now I am calling this a flip house because we are flipping it in the term that we are making it so much better than it was, but we are planning on keeping this one and renting it out, and we're going to see how that goes. Now we have had a duplex in the past that we rented out, so that was 2 units. And we were planning on keeping that for a long time, but a coffee shop came in and made us an offer. And so we do not have that anymore, but we have been for the past 3 years looking for our next investment property. So I call it a flip. I say flip. Sometimes Matt will, he will say, no, it's not a flip. It's a rental. It's a rental. Just flip is easier to say. And that's what we're doing right now. We are flipping it. It needed work. So that's what we're doing. So I have been doing videos on YouTube and kind of walking through the process and just different things that we're doing, because when we do projects like this, you see it glorified and, on HGTV or wherever else that you're watching those kinds of shows. And it looks so easy and it looks so, they get it done in a month and but they have hundreds of workers and companies and, all those things working for them and trying to get it all done. And so I really want to share a realistic look, because I do get a lot of questions about the process and what it looks like and how it really is, from people that are thinking about it or want to do it. So I do that on my YouTube channel, and the YouTube channel is the same as everything else. It's My Creative Days on YouTube. So you can find me there. But I thought I would do a podcast version of it now that we are a month in. We got this house the day before Thanksgiving. That's when we closed on it. Then there was obviously Thanksgiving, and the day after that was Gabrielle's birthday, Black Friday. So that day was we were out the whole day. She was so excited that it fell on Black Friday. She wanted to go out shopping, and we just did a bunch of things that day. So, and then we ran into Christmas, which, it's just kind of been a weird season to get a project like this, because I feel like there's just been a lot of big things that have been, in this first month that maybe, we'd be a little bit further. But I don't know. We've been working our tail off around the holidays and all of that's shown up anyway. So maybe we wouldn't. So I'm going to kind of, go through the house and what we have done and kind of give you a realistic look on a month in what this looks like for 2 people that work full time. We are doing this ourselves. We are hiring out those things that we cannot do. So let me just back up, and I'm just going to kind of go through it, but I just want you to know that that's the dynamic. Gabrielle has not been over once yet to help. She's been busy with work and school, and as I'm recording this, she's in Florida. So it's just, Landon has come over maybe a handful of times. So that kind of gives you our manpower as of 1 month in. So one thing that was great is we did get a couple of days in December that were like in the 50s. So I was actually outside getting a lot of the outside work done that I wanted to get done before winter settled in. One of the things we got done, the screen door on the front door needed replaced. Matt was like, well, maybe we don't have to replace it. And then it wasn't shutting and it was hooking on the outside of the house. I know that doesn't make sense. It's like, Matt, we need to do this. So we were able to, on one of those nice days, we replaced the screen door on the front of the house. As it got colder, we were noticing that the faucet outside, it was kind of like, this is a good thing. Even if you're a homeowner, like go outside and make sure your faucets aren't doing this. It was not dripping because it was frozen, but so there was a frozen, line of water coming out of the faucet. So we knew there was a slow drip on that. So we did hire a plumber to come in, and he put shutoff valves on everything in the house. So if we are going to rent this, if something were to happen, we want to make sure that we can shut off the water to the source. Does that make sense? So a shutoff valve at the kitchen, a shutoff valve at the bathroom sink, a shutoff valve at the shower, and then he went and fixed that outside faucet. So check your faucets outside, especially if you're somewhere, we're in Iowa, and if it gets, really frigid temps, just want to make sure that that's not happening, because it can really do some damage on your pipes. So all the things that we're learning. My mom, we noticed it. And then my mom actually, when she came to look at it one time, she's like, "Are you getting somebody for that?" And I'm like, "Yes, we do have somebody coming." So we got that all taken care of. Another thing, oh my goodness, this was one of, the plastic coverings that go over like basement window wells. They had them on every window well, which was great. That's awesome. But they had glued it, each one, like a different, like twice with two different glues. Does that make sense? So like one was it was like dirty and it looked black. And another one was like a brown color. And then neither glue worked. So then they went ahead and screwed them into the siding, which that's fine. But I spent so many days sitting out there and scraping that glue off. It's not 100% perfect, but it looks so much better. And I was so grateful that I was able to get that done when we had those warmer temps. But that took days for me to get it done. But now it's done. We put the plastic covers back on. There was a lot of leaves that we needed to rake up before, the snow settled in. So some yard work. Then we kind of had a lot of wind, and a big, large branch fell off the front tree. So Landon he went over and he cleaned that up. And then we were out in the garage. So as we've been taking things kind of apart in the house, there is a garage to this house. So we've been putting all that stuff in the garage just to get it out of the house. In the end, we will have somebody, like some junk guys, come and pick up all that stuff. We have been filling the garbage can every week, which is nice, just to get rid of some of the smaller stuff. But we will probably have to have somebody come and pick up the rest. But there was a bookshelf type thing in the garage. And then there was some insulation weirdly in the garage. So we knew this when we went through it, but you just knew, it's like, wait a minute, that bookshelf is covering a window, and then the insulation is over the window, and just on the wall. It was just like, that's weird. We do know that the guy that lived there, previously, he loved to work in the garage, he loved to work on projects and tinker. So, having insulation in the garage wasn't like a red flag, but it was just the way it was placed. So anyway, we had Landon remove the bookshelf, and then the window thing almost fell all the way he caught it, but they didn't have the window, what do I want to say, built in and held right. Easy fix. But you just know when you see certain things like that, you're like, now that just looks weird. Why would you cover a window with that? You knew there was something behind there. And then the same with the insulation, the way, I don't know if this guy was a very good, could work on things well, because he screwed that window in so that everything was crooked. So again, that was just removing some screws and then just, leveling it out and making it fine. So it could have been a lot worse. So I'm grateful for those things. But, when you're working on a house like this and you're buying it as is, you know the things that you can see with your eye as you're walking through it. But as you start working on things, these kinds of things will pop up. So with that said, I was able to get some painting done at the side, which is the side door, which is actually the quote unquote back door, right off the driveway. So there was some outdoor painting that I needed to do. And again, we got some warm weather, so that was amazing. I was able to get that done. And so in the inside, we have painted, the first floor. Everything is painted. I was just thinking, we were working on the bathroom, but we did get that done. That took a while because all of the walls needed washing before, and that's including ceilings. So this house has not been lived in for a while, and it has not been taken care of when it was lived in. Does that make sense? So very dirty. hasn't been painted in God knows how long. So there was just a lot of prep that needed to be done before you could even paint the walls. It's like the ceilings. I look at it now and I just look up and I'm like, just the ceilings alone, the way they look now, it just looks like a new place. We thought initially we were going to have to rip out all of the cabinets in the kitchen, but as we started looking on it's usually the insides of the cabinets and the drawers, you're like, I don't even want to open it. I don't want to know. They look pristine, like brand new. They are not fancy high-end cabinets at all, but the insides of them are so good. And so when we started looking on the outsides, it's like, you know what? They're just dirty. I think this guy liked to cook with a lot of grease or something. So it was just over time never been cleaned. So that took days and days of me cleaning those cabinets. And then I kind of put a finish over them. So they look really good. They turned out really, really good. We will still need to get some countertops. Definitely. Like that's once we haven't ripped them out or anything yet because we're using them, we set everything on top of them. So the windows in the kitchen and the living room, they don't work. So they are those wind windows. The guy that was in there before did not own it. So I just don't know. And I guess he didn't know how to work any of the windows because not one of them, I think one in each room works. So we have to get the mechanisms to fix those. We've never done those. So that is something, but we're in the dead of winter right now. So it's not top on our list right now, but that is something we will definitely have to do. We have changed out a lot of the electrical. So a lot of the plugs and switches and everything were it's like the almond color. I don't know how else to say it. So we changed those all out to, white and then the white plates. Again, the new paint and that alone makes the biggest difference. And then I have been spending a lot of time on the windows themselves, not fixing them, but cleaning them. Oh my goodness. There was so much Scotch tape on the windows, like around the frames, that takes forever to get off. You're scraping the windows. And then it's like the person before the brown paint, like didn't trim very well at all. So there was like paint on there. So I've been scraping and cleaning. I mean, not even like really the glass, but like the white, you know what I mean? The trim around windows for days. I have one more window to do, and that's the bathroom window. I mean, but it's been days of trying to. They look so much better though. Cleaning and paint are your friends when you're doing these projects because it makes the world a difference. Okay, so then we've run into some electrical issues. As I'm saying that, I need to text Matt that he needs to call the electrician. So we're able to do what we can do. But like I said, there are some projects that we cannot do. So we have to hire that out. And so there's some electrical that we have some questions about. A couple of the doors we needed to patch before we could paint them. We've removed all the trim in the first floor because so much of it was missing. So we're just going to have to get all new trim. Downstairs, we have hired somebody and they're going to be starting in the next week or couple of weeks. We are going to drywall part of the basement. So it's more of a family room down there. There's 2 separate rooms. And we're going to drywall 4 of the walls. So that will be really nice. And then there's some electrical work in there that they're going to do and patch up some of the ceiling down there. So as soon as that's done, we'll be ready to paint and everything down there in those 2 spaces. We've removed a lot of stuff out of the one room in there. There was just some things hanging on the wall. We didn't want this one area to be a closet because we don't want it to be used as a bedroom. So there was just some things in there that we had to definitely get rid of. But we have done, there's a bathroom in the basement. The basement bathroom makeovers in our houses and our flips that we've done, I swear, they are like they're just, when I go down there, when I look at them, it's like hard for me to even look at them when we first start getting them because it's just like the scariest places. But we added a new floor, we've painted, we trimmed out some pipes that are just, they have to be there, like they're just the part of the makeup of the house. Added a mirror, we're going to add some other things in there, but it just looks so much better. And then there's a back room that we've painted the floor and painted the walls. That alone in there looks great. And we're doing that again in the washroom. So we were just working on that this weekend. So literally it's been paint and just some, just and it takes so long because it is just you two that are still working full time and you're, working when you can. Matt did have an extended period of time off over the holidays, but again, it's the holidays. It's not like you're there 24/7, but we did get a lot done. The bathroom upstairs, we found that there's a leak in the tub or shower, which should be a pretty easy fix. I should have a family member that should be able to help us with that. But just yesterday I was over there and I was trimming that bathroom to get that one completely done. And I'm noticing in the shower, the person that put in the surround, I don't know what he did, but again, it's like he used multiple different kinds of caulk and the wrong caulk. So I am in the process of stripping all of that away, and then we will re-caulk everything so it looks really nice, touch up any paint that we need to. But so I'm in the middle of doing that project. But everything, we've removed everything out of that bathroom, the toilet, the vanity. We'll put a new light in there. We removed everything because we're going to put new flooring in there. To paint around it's just easier to have everything out. So everything has been returned or taken out of there. Everything in the basement bathroom has been returned back to that bathroom. So yeah, I know I'm forgetting some things. There's all those little things that you forget about that you're doing along the way, but it's really been paint, cleaning, a lot of, for me, scraping, Matt putting in the floor in the basement. It's a tiny bathroom, but all those little cuts, and every time you need to, make a cut, you're walking upstairs and out to the garage, and, all that stuff takes time. I am hoping with every flip we have ever had, no matter the size of the house or, like we had the duplex, I have given us 3 months. I don't think we've ever closed on anything right at the holidays, but if we could have it done by March, that would be amazing. So we're moving right along. Like I said, I am sharing it over on YouTube. So if you'd like to see, more of a walkthrough on what we've done, you can head over to YouTube and check it out. But it's fun. I love to answer your questions about investment properties. I've written a couple of blog posts about it as well. Again, I'm doing more podcast episodes about it because we're getting the questions. Please, please, please reach out to me on Instagram at My Creative Days. Just send me a DM. But it just helps me. If you have a podcast topic that you would like me to cover or answer here on the podcast, please let me know. I'm always looking for new ideas. You can always email me as well, Lindsay at mycreativedays.com. Your questions, your thoughts, your emails, your messages, your DMs, those help me so much with the content across, wherever you listen or read our content. It just helps so much. So keep those coming in. We are here to help you. So that's why we do what we do. So hearing from you is such a big help. So thank you for those of you that send in those questions or thoughts or whatever, because they are super helpful. So I'm going to stop blabbing now. And until next time, I hope you have a great day, and I'll talk to you very soon. Hello, friends. Thank you so much for listening to the podcast. I'm grateful that you tune in every week and that you share the show with your family and friends. I love having creative chit chats with you, and my hope is that this podcast will inspire you to try a new project, start a DIY that you've been putting off, and decorate your home exactly how you want it. There are a few ways you can help us with the podcast. Follow the podcast so you don't miss an episode. And if you could take a few minutes to leave the podcast a review, that would help us so, so much. Again, thank you for being here, and I look forward to our chat next week. Bye-bye.